cannot be here. I'm not as bad as all of those scary fucking psycho people. I can deal with it. My problems are not as bad as theirs. I try to put all of those excuses that I'm absolutely fine, and I can deal with it on my own. Ola is cutting me off immediately. Go back to the queue. If you need to stay on the phone, that was her instructions. So I did what she asked me to do. I will be forever grateful. If you can find help and support just with the psycho friends, I guess all this worked like magnets. I didn't know what to say. 10 years of my life on and off. By the time I had nothing to say anymore. I didn't care anymore. It drove me out of depression into love, into getting high on everything I could get my hands on. I was cutting myself, starving, hurting myself in many other ways I could just invent. I hate to say it, but I was desperately trying to die. That's what depression does to you. Obviously, I'm happy I didn't succeed. Gosh, if it would be possible, ask every person who committed suicide whether they would do it again, given a chance. What do you think they would say? I believe most of them wouldn't do it again. I remember standing on the edge of the tube station, staring at the gap between station and the railway. To be honest, the tracks always move me like a great piece of modern art. It is so perfect, so empty, clean, and sad at the same time. I thought, one step and it all will be gone. All the sadness and depression will be gone. This is the way I could stop it. One more step and I'll be free. Then I thought it was a Monday, and I remember how many times I got late to work because someone decided to kill themselves. When that happened for the first time, I was so shocked, and I remember thinking about this person. What was so bad to deal with that they decided to take their own lives? Is there anything anyone could do to help them? When it happened for the third, fourth time, it wasn't so important anymore. I arrived late to work and I said, "Sorry, I'm late because someone decided to kill themselves, like they couldn't choose someone other place to do it." The suicide started to be to me like some small accident. Someone dropped their phone on railway and we are stuck because someone doesn't look what they do. Horrible how soon we get used to death. How death becomes something so natural, like filling up the soap in a toilet. I didn't want to be a burden for someone who must be at work on time. I stepped back. Today is not a day I will die. When I started to scream again, he'd put his hands on my mouth to shut me up. From then on, I was only that, an object that is silent. Was it rape? You see, I was 17-year-old. I have been acting since I was 14, and at that moment I was in the film festival where we were shooting an action movie where I was a sexy villain. I was so young, and I had my first kissing scene. The kissing scene was simple. He was supposed to kiss me, and when cut was called, we should stop. Simple. That was what he did. What we did. Then we did an extra 2 or 3 takes, and he was slowly touching my panties. On the next one, he went a bit deeper. Literally deeper. I tried to move him away, but also I didn't want to make a drama out of it, so I didn't say anything. I completely pushed that memory out of my mind. I forgot about it. Until we went to watch a bombshell and I saw the actress moving her skirt up to show this fatty guy her legs and a bit of panties, and then he hit me. That that was it. Sharp and smooth pain. This is how it feels to be forced to something. We run away, sometimes we freeze, praying that he will finish and let me go. That he will set me free. I remember my ballroom dance training and my coach was too close. And his hand was going where it shouldn't. I was what? Maybe 11? Then another one, sport shooting, and I was 13? Why was I silent? They didn't have to threaten me to keep me silent. I was just stupidly silent. Stupid, shitty cow. I was breaking inside. I was crumbling into pieces and I didn't stop there. I stopped counting how many times I shattered. The only thing that I could somehow keep those pieces together was an alcohol mixed with all of the medication I could find in the house. I just needed a break from it all. When you feel like it's too much to take, you are looking for simple and cheap ways to stop feeling so shit. My favorite is to drink, mix drugs and just get high. Or even better, to cut myself. I was crushing them, adding them to the drink, or being more classical and swallowing them. I was taking drugs like candies. They were cracking under my tooth like M&Ms, but they were giving you this just bitter aftertaste. Ugh. So you might ask me, why did you take them? It's easy. I wanted to suffer. I wanted to die. I desperately wanted to die. I remember at the theater we had to do some great intensive scene. The seagull. My partner had to catch me. She tangled my arms so strong that the blood sank through the long-sleeved black shirt. Well, I'm not stupid to wear a short sleeve. The blood was running through my fresh wounded arm. The smell of it, I guess I was the only one who could feel it. The pain as a Constantine was absolutely true. The temperature of the blood so sweet and sinking through the cotton shirt. The metallic scents, old copper pipe. Temperature and a pulse that was running faster when you feel pain. At least there's a real pain, not this shitty emotional crap. After 1 year like that, I stopped talking not even one word for 2 weeks. I spent hours in the bathtub just sitting and staring into nothing. I didn't care that the water got cold. I didn't care about anything anymore. Someone just had to come in and take me out of the water. They dried my dripping body, but the tears wouldn't stop. It was like my body was soaked up with the water from the top, and my eyes were the only way from it to escape. I guess deep down I knew what it actually was. But it was so difficult to admit it to myself, to the world. I heard my inside void, but I didn't acknowledge it. Depression is a bitch. It started quite innocently. I was just sad. This sadness started to stretch into days and weeks. I had my ups and downs. I didn't think I was getting serious. Every artist has its downs. It's written into our craft. Unhappiness. We all work until we barely breathe. My depression started when I was quite young, maybe 10. Firstly, short, sad moments, then weeks, months, and in the end, with 2 years cut off of my life. You don't want to stand up from your bed. You don't smile. Well, if you're in a company, you're the shining sun of it. Joking and drinking, it's awesome. But when you step outside of the magic world disappears. You stop eating. I mean, you are eating something, but everything has a taste of the paper. It can be a Michelin star restaurant and you will still feel like you're cracking a wood. You lose a sense of smell, taste, and excitement to cook or eat. You just don't feel hunger. Insomnia? I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for 3 days in a row. I didn't close my eyes even for a second because if I did, the anxiety kicked in immediately. I was watching the sun come up and go down. The beautiful colors of the purple and the warm yellow and the redness. You start to wonder, is it a hell exist? Does it just feel the same? So peaceful but so painful. So sad. I remember the tea when I was a kid. My dad was making it in our old farmhouse surrounded by trees in the middle of the forest. The house was warm, especially in the winter time. The fire was on in the kitchen to keep us safe from the outside weather. The smell of the dog's fur that was just outside, now he's inside, next to the fireplace drying and licking his paws. He always added 2 spoons of the sugar, sometimes some lemon or some raspberry juice. Now if I think about it, how crazy was it to give a kid so much sugar? Well, it was delicious. This was a cup full of love. Every time I come back home, my dad is always making the same cup of a tea. Now we are both cutting on sugar. They gave me as much love as they could, but didn't provide me the information. Who are we? I was stripped out of identity. I had to face racism, xenophobic behavior, even because I was considered white and Polish. Imagine that you are 8. Your mom sends you to bring eggs to the neighbor downstairs, and when you knock the doors open, she slams them back with the speed of the fastest available train in Europe. Well, I came back to my mom and said what happened. I explained that I absolutely don't want to bring back those fucking eggs back there, so she makes me to go there with her. So amazing. I remember I was burning inside like I've done something wrong. Like I've stolen or said something terribly bad. I didn't want to be there. I didn't like it. When our neighbor opened the doors and saw my mom, she started to laugh and apologize that she thought it was the gypsies and was begging for money or wanted to steal something. Hilarious. I accepted the apologies and came back to watch a telly. What should I do? It's not like it was something new for me. At the school, they laughed at me that I'm gypsy, my father's black, or that my incubator had the electric zzz. Lovely people. Till this summer, I didn't know that my great-grandfather was actually a gypsy. My grandmother was speaking Hebrew and a bit of Yiddish, but obviously no one knows if we are Jewish. Friends of mine are always inviting me to their Jewish celebrations and treating me like one of them. The war and the communists destroyed identity. Not only mine. I'm aware that some secrets were taken to the grave just to make us safe, but I wish I could just say something more about my dark complexion, something more that I'm just fucking tan. I felt like a man for a very long time. I was bullied, because not only was I the only kid with such a dark complexion in the whole freaking school, I was also dressing and acting like a guy. Doing karate, football, and all of that. Definitely, I would get a badge for surviving skills. I started to be sick of how people were treating me. the freak, the weirdo shit. One summer I finished the primary school. I mean, that I wouldn't see those people anymore on the list. I finished the primary school. It meant that I wouldn't see those people anymore, once at least. One beautiful day I noticed that when I was in a bikini, guys were staring at me. That was something new for me, a bit weird but fine. No one knew me there. I could be whoever I wanted to be, so I went for shopping with my mom and finally bought some dresses and makeup. I get dressed in it. God, it felt like I was naked. Like I was someone who I never met before. The feeling is so weird. You know, when you jump into the cold water in your clothes and they are attached to your skin and your underwear is going where it shouldn't. I still remember it. It's so odd. People were staring. My own skin was hot from the sun, but mostly from stress. I'm sure I was shaking. It was horrible. It somehow feels better than being a freak. I had my first kiss that summer with the guy. That was fun. I was fun. I went to the new school and became a cool girl. For the first time in my life, someone accepted me as someone I wasn't. Because I was finally a girl. So many years passed and I still try to figure it out. Am I a woman or a man? Well, I consider myself as a non-binary. I sometimes feel a bit more like a woman and a bit like a man. It depends on a day. I'm some kind of a creature. I'm a human being. I do prefer pronouns they, them, they, she, but it's not like I'm gonna scream at someone if you call me a man or a woman. I am living my best possible life. Sometimes I stare at the rain and wonder if there is someone like me. Someone who feels so lost and odd in their own skin. Someone who wants to die. But in the end, end up living in a shell of someone else's body. Body that suggests that you should be happy, beautiful, successful,